soul, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Terry Sept.
Here.
Will Hexter.
Here.
Charles White.
Here.
Tom Keegan.
Here.
And Harold Short.
Here.
A few announcements. Township meetings are recorded for the purpose of recurring minutes, and the recording is destroyed when the minutes have been approved. It is requested that all persons wishing to speak before the board shall state their name, address, and the subject matter upon which they wish to speak for the record. In the interest of facilitating the business of the board, all persons addressing the board shall be limited to 2 minutes unless such time is extended by the chairman for good cause. Individuals are requested to remain in their seats and to respect when others are speaking. Board of Supervisors will provide a reasonable opportunity for citizens to comment on any non-agenda items after all agenda items have been addressed, but prior to the adjournment of the public meeting. We do have 2 guests this evening. The first is the Honorable State Representative Marcy.
So if I stay here? You want me to go to the mic?
People will be able to hear better. And you can move, you can take the mic off and that's what we heard. The sound in here is terrible.
Is that on?
It is as best I can without the speakers popping.
Is that on now?
Just speak loud.
Just speak.
There we go. I don't know if it's on or off.
You can take it off.
I
If you just want to take it off, if you want to move somewhere else.
That's all right, that's not working, so.
Turn it up, but the speakers are probably loud.
Last thing.
That's, the speakers are there.
Got it? No?
Let's talk about
Okay. I'm going to talk loud. Just for that goes a little bit, but I'm State Representative Marcy Toepel. I represent Lower Frederick, in addition to 10 other municipalities, 147 legislative districts, and about once or twice a year, I like to make it around time to say hello. You'll get a great turnout here for your meetings, which is very nice to see some of the municipalities I go, there's like 3 people there, so the community's not quite as engaged as Lower Frederick, so that's great to see. But I want to thank the supervisors as well as Carol, your engineer, and Kevin, your manager. I have a great working relationship with both of them, and if they have a state-related matter, they contact me right away, and I want to thank you for your staff and the cooperative relationship we have with your township. For the constituents, I am located on Swamp Pike in Gilbertsville. If you ever need to see me, you can email me, call me, any state-related matter. I just wanted to make mention of one thing that I am monitoring. I talked to Kevin about it. Sunrise Mill. I believe the county is starting to work on Sunrise Mill. I was very fortunate to get a bill passed where the Valley Forge Casino generates revenue that goes to the local municipality, which is Upper Marion, where the casino is, and part of it goes to the county. And that money always went to the county, to the state, to the Commonwealth Financing Authority. So the county really had no control over the money. I worked on that bill for probably 7 years, finally got it passed, and so that money that's generated from Valley Forge Casino, that local share for the county, is now going to their parks. It'll be about $1.5 million a year. So we're hoping to see some of that money in places like Sunrise Mill where they're starting to work. I've asked to take a tour, and I don't think they're ready for that. And I've talked to Kevin about that. So if we can arrange that at some point with the park board, we'll certainly let you know so that supervisors and everybody's also, we can all take a tour at the same time because I'm really anxious to see what's going on there. But thank you very much. Ever have a problem, please give me a call.
Thank you.
Are there any questions? Any questions? Ms. Toepel?
Yes.
Yeah, I would like to know your opinion of connecting the Perkins Trail up to Sunrise Mill.
That is a county issue, not a state issue. So I can give you my opinion. I will support what the community wants here, but that really isn't a decision that that is made at the state level.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
As you know, a lot of our communities have old bridges that are historic and are very expensive to repair. Is there any state money to help us in maintaining our historic bridges?
There's not a separate pot of money for historic bridges, and we know we have Stone Mountain Bridge here in Lower Frederick. But some of them are county-owned, some of them are locally owned. So if it's not a state-owned bridge, they're basically triaging transportation projects right now to target the money to those bridges and roads that are used the most. And generally, our older bridges are not. So we have many bridges that are weight limited, so it's affecting commerce and safety issues with buses and emergency vehicles. So who knows, down the road there may be some money available for those types of projects. I hope there are, because they are really works of art. But if there's not a state bridge, probably not.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Thank you, Marcy.
Next is Kim Evans with Camp Hope for Kids.
Thanks, Bob.
Sure.
I'll follow your lead. I'm glad you went first.
Speak sideways like that.
I'll speak sideways. Does that work?
Yes.
If you can't hear me, wave. I have a pretty loud voice. We'll leave brochures over here on the table and business cards for you to pick up if you have any other questions or want to contact us. I'm Kim Evans. I'm technically the CEO of Camp Hope for Kids, which is my volunteer gig. What I do for a living is my husband and I are in the ministry with Greater Philadelphia Church of Christ. Kathy Wetzel is here. She's our administrator, and she and her husband live on the property at 129 Yerger Road. So I'll tell you a little bit about us and then open it up for questions. So 23 years ago, I took about 40 kids to a camp property in Virginia, and that's when camp began. It was all young kids. It was very faith-based. And it was because Walter, my husband, and I had moved back from England, and the church that we were working with, I realized so many of the young kids didn't have faith. So that's where we began. From that, about 4 years into it, we bought a property down near Culpeper, Virginia, a group of different churches. In 2003, the churches went through a financial difficulty, and we needed to sell that property. And we then moved the camp up here and began renting the property at Camp Arthurita from Michael Sham, many of you that have known him through the years. We rented from him. We had a very large AmeriCorps grant at that point that we were working with, and he went into bankruptcy court. And we ended up in court to go ahead and be able to continue with camp because we had a commitment to government to follow through. We had 100 AmeriCorps members coming to work and help run camp. A company named Gary Earlbaum, which is Green Tree Properties, actually sort of won the camp out of bankruptcy court, and they continued our lease. So for 10 years, we leased that property. And last year, through a miracle of God, in my opinion, we were able to purchase the property. And the property is actually owned by a nonprofit entity called Global Youth Foundation. Camp Hope for Kids leases the property from them. They have a 20-year lease. The reason to do that is legally running a camp is extremely high risk. And it's only a matter of time until an insurance company or a family sues you, so we don't want to own property. And it's so that the advice is that should be once removed with that. So just to give you an overview of the programs that we run, we started with 40 kids. We have about 3,000 people in the summer now that come through. We have 10 different programs. It's difficult to count, to say how many campers and how many staff and this and that, because the way our structure is a camper from 8th to 8th grade, you can come as a camper 1 week, and once you're in 7th and 8th grade, if you want to come back and volunteer, you're a part of what's called crew, and they see them very, very much, they see themselves as staff. They're still campers, but they see themselves like they come And no, we're here working now, and they actually pay to come and do dishes and pull weeds and do things like that. So there's 10 different programs that go on. Our camp is the kids that are 8th to 8th graders teen camp, and those two programs, our camp and teen camp, are our faith-based programs. And they are kids from primarily Virginia, Maryland, Philadelphia. That's the bulk of those kids. We have a program called Hope for Kids Leadership Academy, which kids come from all over the world to come to that, and they are mentors and counselors, and they work. For the summer, they come for 5 weeks at a time. We have about 40 full-time staff that also come from all over the world that have come and served other times, and that's the coveted position that everyone wants, is full-time staff. We work with Hope Worldwide, which is our parent organization that helped us become the nonprofit that we are today, and there's a program called Hope Youth Corps. Again, they're the mentors primarily for a program that we call Camp Miracles. Camp Miracles is a one-on-one mentoring program for inner city kids. Most of them come from North Philly, but many of the kids that need one-on-one mentoring are welcome to be a part of that program. We run 1 week of Special Week of Camp, which is for special needs kids and their families. Because one of the greatest needs is for siblings that have special needs kids, the challenge it is for a sibling, and also for parents. So they come and we do trainings with professionals for the parents. We have sibling camp for the other kids, and then when we have one-on-one mentoring for the Special Week of Camp. The latest and newest programs are a performing arts camp, which we have it's a 1-week program. It's a performing arts and a sports camp. We have a lot of directors that come from New York down from Broadway, and they volunteer their time and they come, and especially for kids that are very talented in those areas with performing arts, and then this year we launched a sports camp. So at this point in time, we run very much in the red, and we're alive because of donations. We're trying to figure out who to partner with and how to do it, and it's a very old camp. It's about 110 years old and has a lot of issues, but somehow we piece it together each year, and it's worked out, and we're very grateful to be there. Anything we can do with the community, we want to work together, we want to be good neighbors, but we're just figuring it all out as we go. So, any questions?
Well, I'd just like to say, my name is Gail Goss, and I live on Gerlach Road, which is the next road up from where you are. And I've always enjoyed having the camp there. And we don't drive down that road frequently, but it's always a pleasure to see the young people enjoying themselves. And I remember years ago, they actually had horses down there and used to come up one of our footpaths, and I always enjoyed seeing that and the laughter and the joy.
That's great. I hope that we can have horses again and that we can do equine therapy. So that is a vision for sure, and I hope that can come back, but thank you. Anyone else?
I have a question. When we came to visit the camp, my impression was there might be some opportunities there for some members of the community who have particular skills, if they were interested to come and volunteer. Could you talk about that a little bit? What kind of things
Yes.
there are?
We welcome volunteers. We welcome you to come for a day, a week, a month, even off-season, on-season, whenever. And it's an encouraging place. Some people enjoy volunteering when the kids are there, whether it's coming and volunteering in the arts and crafts or in the kitchen or whatever. Some people like to come and work off-season. And we have plenty of jobs. SEI is coming out on Tuesday. They're always welcome to other people joining them if you want to join a group to volunteer. So there's plenty of opportunities. We have more jobs too than we will probably ever get done in my lifetime, so please come.
And what's the best way to make that contact?
So on the brochures, there's an email address there, and Kathy will set you up to come out and volunteer. Anything else? Thank you. Thanks for having us. We also have some things. We have camp stock in the summer, which will do better at letting it be known to the community. We're It's Christian bands that come in and play, and it's a fundraiser. It's $10 a ticket. So we do that. We have this open house lunch that Marlon came to, different things that will open it up so that you can just come and see us or stop by and see what we're doing. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Move forward.
Yes.
Ready to move forward? In front of you have the minutes from August 7th. I have a motion, please, to approve those.
I'll make a motion. Second.
Any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Under correspondence, I have a few things. More FYI, under family services, they're having an event October 20th, 2018. There's some information in there. They deliver a lot of Meals on Wheels for township or senior citizens. LTL consultants, there's a lot of work.
Sorry, can we pause a second?
Sure.
Have we ever made a donation to them in the past?
Not going to work on that.
Do you want to?
No, we have.
I mean, it's something we can talk about at budget time. LTL consultants, their July report. Plymouth Community Ambulance, their June and July 2018 reports. Lower Frederick Township Planning Commission, August 16 minutes. Lower Frederick Township Park and Recreation Board, August 6 minutes. You'll also see the 2019 police minimum municipal obligation, MMO. I actually need a motion to approve that because I need to send that back to them. That's basically what the pension advisor is telling us that we need to contribute for the police pension. And Lower Frederick Township Volunteer Fire Company, their Montgomery County August incident report. Do you want to pass the other one or do you want to wait for that?
Sorry, before we do that, can we have a very brief report from the Planning Commission and Park and Rec? 2 minutes or less? Oh, is it reports, we have the reports later?
I have one back at
Okay,
other
thank you.
reports.
You want to move forward?
Any
For
other
the police? Yes, let's make a motion on that.
Okay.
Also moved.
Second.
Any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And that's all I have under correspondence. Under administrative actions, you have in your packet the treasurer's report, the bills to pay for August 2018. I'd like to have a motion to approve that as well.
Make a motion.
Second.
I'll second.
Any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 4 is public comment on any agenda items. Okay, moving on. Reports, solicitor.
Thank you. I'm going to start with something a little irrelevant, but I'm a little self-conscious. I had some cataracts removed last month, and one last week, and I haven't recovered my ability to read. So I went to CVS, and they have reading glasses. Boom. Happily, I recovered my ability to read, but that was just this weekend, and I feel uneasy and weird. But I'm going to get through this. Thank you for listening. Our office assisted in working on a personnel matter for the supervisors. We prepared ordinance amendments to ensure that the requirement for digital PDFs are included in our stormwater management ordinance and in our subdivision and land development ordinance. We reviewed the homeowners association declaration for the Creekside and Perkiomen. We prepared a stormwater controls and best management practices, operations and maintenance agreement for the Knight subdivision. We also prepared for the Knight subdivision 2 floodplain easement agreements. Our office reviewed a proposed emergency access easement to the Melbourne Hill development, and we suggested a few changes to the draft. I reviewed an access and maintenance agreement for a paper street known as 3rd Avenue for E-Team Investments LLC, who is doing a 3-lot land development project. And I reviewed a declaration for shared use and maintenance of a driveway for E-Team Investments LLC. We notified the township insurance carrier of a threat of a civil action. We sent the zoning ordinance amendment and saldo amendment concerning the submission of electronic plans to the Montgomery County Planning Commission for review and to the Lower Frederick Planning Commission for review. There's going to be a referendum you'll all discover on the ballot on the November meeting to possibly increase the Board of Supervisors from 3 to 5. Our office researched whether that had to be advertised or not, and it doesn't, but I'm advertising it now for them. It will be on the ballot. The Board of Election handles whatever needs to be done in that regard. And I prepared an ordinance creating an environmental advisory committee, which I believe has been distributed to the supervisors.
Did everybody get to read that?
It was actually based, I think, almost entirely on the sample.
It was pretty easy for me to do. Yes.
So I think comprehension. I have a question about the homeowners association declaration for Creekside.
Yes.
Do we have an opportunity to review that before it's finalized?
If you'd like, it has all of the things in it that we asked, particularly the preservation of the trees in the area between the home boundaries and the boundary of the tract. They did a nice job of doing exactly what the Board of Supervisors wanted them to do.
If it's okay,
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Distribute it right away.
Terry, I did read the EAC materials, but I would like another month to do a little bit more research on that. Okay, why don't we table that?
Can we table it till the next meeting? Just before we-
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Just doing some research on it.
Anything else, Tom?
That concludes my report.